the problem with me is with the kids. Like, I've been a parent for so long now that I can't stay up past like 11, and that's like when Vegas begins. Like, so.
Pretty much.
Welcome to Talk About Scary, the show where we do just that. Talk about scary places. Hey, Clay.
Hey, Adam.
What's up?
Scary
places.
We have a
guest here today.
Scary places, that's what's up. Oh, we have a guest?
Right.
Oh.
That's what's up. We have a guest. This is Titus Covington. Titus Covington, what the hell?
Titus Covington?
It's Titus Covington.
Oops.
Fine, we're leaving it in. I was laughing when I said it. Titus, you might know him from television and movies all over the silver screen, and he's blessed us with his presence here today.
It's nice.
Hi, Titus.
Did you say the silver
everybody?
screen or the silver woods?
He did.
The Silver Woods
Both.
as well.
Both.
We don't make reference to that movie as much as we should because it's obvious. Go watch it. It's fine. I don't want to talk about it right now.
You know, we do push that movie an awful lot on this show, so just saying. Just saying.
We do push it a lot. We have a lot of movies besides Silver Woods too, but we often
Definitely
push
check
that.
us out. Check us out.
Titus is a phenomenal actor. He's graced us with his presence today
Thank
in
you.
the studio. Thanks, Titus.
No problem. It's, that's fair. That's
No,
fair.
no,
You can
Titus
only,
is great. I'm
do as much
glad
as
he's
the
here.
director does.
There's always
Thank you.
room for
Thank you so much.
improvement.
Always.
Well, we have
So,
a
what are
guest
we
on this
talking about today,
episode. Well, yeah, I was just about to tell you, but I was gonna like roll into it smoothly. We have a guest on this episode. It's the season finale. Woot woot.
Nice.
This has been a really
It's the
long
season finale.
Yeah, we've done a lot of episodes this season, both video and then of course several just audio episodes for our loyal listeners out there. But we did want to do something kind of fun for the last episode, so of course we elected not to. We're talking about something kind of boring, to be honest with you. We've done a lot of
Makes
episodes
sense, I
about
guess.
hotels. We have, I'm not going to lie, but we're going to check in, room service please, to the Flamingo in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Let me pay them strippers real quick.
I have never stayed at the Flamingo.
I'm just going to keep tossing these
but I
ones
know
out
someone
there.
who has.
Just, come on.
Make it rain.
Just strip.
It's getting ridiculous.
I've paid for an awful lot.
I go to the strip club. I make it hail. I throw pennies at those girls.
Doesn't that hurt them?
Take them pennies.
Is that why they like have pelt marks all
don't
over
care.
them? It's not like because of the drugs?
They got makeup. It's
Money's
fine.
money.
Money's money. Absolutely.
I don't know. I don't like
Titus,
that
you been
money
to the
that like
Flamingo?
wipes through the butt
have.
cracks and stuff. That doesn't. I don't want to.
You've never been to a club like that. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about right now.
I'm just saying.
You don't even know.
It's.
He doesn't know.
It's.
All money is dirty.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But when you see it, when you see it be dirty, you're reminded
Yeah.
that it's dirty. So, I'm not about that poop
Well, I
life.
guess. Well, you wouldn't like Vegas or the
I
Flamingo.
don't like
All right,
Vegas.
I got a quick story though. I got
I'm
to tell you
not
a
a
quick story
Vegas fan.
before we
Go
start
ahead.
now. 'cause
Yeah.
We're talking about dirty money.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people that have watched the show know I've been an actor since I was a child.
You're an
I've done it my
actor?
whole life. But in between being an actor, right? There's other things you have to do because sometimes acting doesn't pay
I
the
thought you were a
bills.
lumberjack.
So I've been a bartender at a lot of different places that I've been fired from in my life. And one of the places I worked at had a male review during the day, and all the women would come. And these guys were just greasy. They were just in thongs and like banana hammocks. And I was a bartender. They'd come up and they'd be like, "Yo, man, give me a Red Bull and vodka." And I'd give them like a bunch of Red Bull and vodkas, and they'd tip really well. And I'd have this carafe for tips, you know, and it screw at the bottom. They put money in there. And at the end of the night, I went to go start taking it out, and it was all wet. because it was the money that was in their G-string.
WET.
And I looked at my bar back and said, man, I can give you this money right now in Spanish. I'm going to say it in an accent for people who don't speak Spanish. No, it's okay. I take it later. And he just leaves. And I bring it home, and Heidi gets up. That's my wife. If anybody doesn't know, my lovely wife, Heidi. And I bring it upstairs, and I put the crafts on the table before I go to bed. And she's like, what's that smell? I'm like, what do you mean what smell? She goes, did you bring home, like, an Italian sub or something? It smells really bad. And it was like the middle of the night. I went, no. She goes, what is that smell? And she comes out, and she smells the BO money. And I had to put it out in the garage and let it dry for 2 days, or I could even count it.
Oh, that's
how dirty that money is. But I had to tell you that because that's how gross it is.
You know what I got out of that story? I like Italian subs.
Banana hammock. I do too still, but I can't help but think about banana hammock money when I eat one now.
I'll never eat a sub again.
Now that's what I'm going to think about. So thank you. Thank you for ruining things for me again.
Just dudes jiggling their giblets in a in a thong.
So
That's what you're
continuing on this episode of Talk About
giblets.
Dirty.
It's the finale.
It's the finale. You know what?
Spice it up.
And it's Vegas.
Oh.
I wouldn't expect anything less. I have been to Vegas, as I said earlier. If you caught it, I'm not a fan. But it's definitely somewhere that
I don't know why.
well, just none of that stuff appeals to me. But it's definitely somewhere that everybody should at least check out. You know, if you've not been there, what are you doing? Are you like
Does it appeal to you?
15? Then
It does a little bit. A little bit. I like the excitement of.
well, see,
of
the problem
Vegas.
with me.
I went there once.
The problem with me is with the kids. Like, I've been a parent for so long now that I can't stay up past like 11, and that's like when Vegas begins. Like, so.
Pretty much.
So me and my
much.
wife
Gotta take a
actually
nap
went for
before.
like our 1 year anniversary. I think I've actually told this story on this show before, but we went for our 1 year, and we walked the strip and checked out some cool stuff, and we started like at dinner time, and literally by 11 we were like done. We're like, we can't do this. What a waste. But I can't. Too much walk into place, smell like cigarettes. And I'm not about that lifestyle.
No,
I don't like the smell of cigarettes.
Cigarettes is the least of your worries there.
It doesn't smell
That's
like that
true.
anymore, though. They don't smoke in a lot of those casinos anymore. But yeah, that's.
Are you
that's true. It can
referencing
kinda stink in
COVID?
there. It's kind of weird. Well, I guess. I mean, they still don't in a lot of them. I know, like the Park MGM doesn't. I did a commercial for the Park MGM, by the way, recently. So if you see my face anywhere,
Hey, is this just a giant plug for you?
I'm trying. It's the finale, man. It's the finale. I'm trying to spice
So
it
anyway,
up.
talk about Adam.
Anyway, so it's Vegas.
So
Why not? And again, Titus has been there. He said he's been there.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been there one time. I finally saved enough money to go to Vegas, and I went with a friend or worker, or co-worker, I should say.
a
not
human
worker.
being. Well, just a human.
There we go. That's the best version of that. And we shared a hotel, and I didn't see anything scary, but I spent most of my time high and asleep whenever I went to the hotel room. So
Sounds like fun.
it was
Doesn't
Vegas.
appeal to me.
Yeah,
But
I see why not.
That's my life, though. That's I don't have to go to Vegas to be high and asleep.
Yeah, so I stayed out pretty late, probably like 6 a.m. is when we laid down. But
that's when I wake up. Or I'm up
Makes
already.
sense.
My daughter
Makes
gets up at 5:30 a lot.
Every episode you've not watched all. Titus hasn't watched all the episodes. We had to catch him up a little bit. Every episode, Clay either has to mention Hawaii or that he's a father of 4.
Got it.
And he's got to wear that badge of honor.
Anyway.
I'm a dad. I'm a father of 4.
Anyway,
I go to bed very early. I went to Hawaii.
I'm fumbling around my necklace that I got from Maui, which is a Hawaiian island that I've been to. This is carved from the actual wood on the island of Hawaii.
Nice.
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Got it.
That's who he is.
Father of 4 Hawaii.
He's a Hawaiian father.
No. I'm not Hawaiian. Anyway.
Okay.
This has been a
I
really
digress.
long
I'm sorry.
introduction.
Let's continue.
Everyone knows what Vegas is. Gamble and strippers and getting high and fun stuff.
Things you're not into.
Museums.
I've seen the movie 21. It was good. But if you do
Okay.
that stuff, you'll
Okay.
get arrested. So don't do that. Probably.
The gambling?
Yeah,
Or
like
the
counting cards.
21 movie part?
No, like counting cards.
Oh, got it.
You're just asked to leave and never come back. They won't arrest you. It's not illegal.
Well, I'm just saying. Most people who do it end up in jail or roughed up by security, and do I look like I could take some buff security guards? So let's just not. But the Flamingo. Let's actually say a fact about the Flamingo.
Let's do it.
The Flamingo is the brainchild of Benjamin Bugsy Siegel.
Siegel.
No.
Bugsy Siegel.
I tried to say it differently because
name.
I didn't want to like reference the seagulls. Just too much bird. You know, they fly, they steal your food when you're not looking. So I was gonna reference him in a different way. But anyway, sure. Siegel. He was one of America's most infamous gangsters. Now, before looking this information up, I had never heard of the guy. So he's no Al Capone, but we got Benjamin Bugsy.
It's a cool name.
Is it though?
Like Bugsy. Yeah, Bugsy Siegel. Like that sounds like somebody like who breaks stuff.
You guys are you not well versed in the old mob and all that stuff?
No.
Bugsy Siegel was a legend. I know he's a crime boss, but I mean he's one of the first guys that actually did it all legal in Las Vegas, which is pretty amazing. Not saying he was a great guy, because he wasn't a great guy. But
Well, he was born in Brooklyn on February 28th,
Brooklyn.
1906.
That's a day after my birthday, by the way. I'll be expecting presents. Go ahead.
Okay. His parents were Jewish immigrants. And he was raised in a troubled neighborhood, so I'm sure that kind of like, you know, is where his issues started, getting into the mob and all that fun gangsta stuff. West Side!
I don't think that works. Since he's from New York.
East Side!
Is Busy snoring around here? I can hear my dog snoring somewhere.
Is that your dog? I thought I heard like a demon behind me, but I was too scared to look. So I was just gonna...
He's snoring behind me on the pillow.
I just was like, I gotta keep going. So I don't know what it is.
My animals bomb every video we do in some
Can't
way.
we just make an
Stay
episode
focused, yeah,
without
keep it
your
in
dog
check.
being the star of the show?
I can't help it. He's just much better looking than both of us.
All three of us. It's a pretty good looking game.
Well, anyway,
Okay.
the Siegel guy, he established himself as a formidable mastermind, like I said, of organized crime. He kind of forged an underworld empire that involved bootlegging, gambling, and even assassinations?
Yeah.
He might have got that Abe guy.
Yikes. As in Lincoln?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice, okay.
Oh, I totally blew out one of my candles. That's going to look cool because the smoke is just like fluttering away. Just ignore that.
He'll edit it out. He won't edit it.
I'm not going to edit it out.
Okay,
It was
okay,
cool. I laughed and like a big gust of whoosh wind blew it out and it was cool.
Your nostril wind just went...
That's right.
We have no candles here today.
No, we're not.
Well,
We had candles usually, but we don't have candles here today.
you guys are lame.
Yeah, we are. We are.
I figure organized crime is the way to go, though. If you're going to do anything illegal, you might as well organize it, right?
You might as well be organized about it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be all haphazard with your illegal stuff. You want to make sure you...
By 1945, his interest in gambling kind of skyrocketed, and he moved to Las Vegas. And that's kind of when his gambling empire started to roll the dice. Now, at that time, Vegas was not like the center of tourism, like at all. That was kind of before all of the, you know, what we know today as Vegas is. I could still hear your dog.
I could move him, but he's just going to come back. So, but I can try to move him. Why don't you continue to talk? I'll be right back in one second. I'm going to move my dog. No, I can move him.
You don't have to.
I'll move him right now.
I'm just saying I can hear it.
Okay.
I mean, I can make snoring
I'll
noises
take
too.
I will lay into
if
him.
it helps. Like, we can just all pause for a minute and snore.
Pause?
Yeah.
Is that a dog joke?
It wasn't until
That's
just
offensive,
now.
dude. That dog pun was offensive to Busy. He doesn't appreciate that.
It's kind of rough.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, snap. All right. So he started gambling.
Don't leave me in the
gambling
doghouse.
thing.
Anyway.
So that's good.
No, so there was a glamorous grand opening though for this Flamingo that got built. It opened the next year after moving to Vegas on December 26th, 1946. As in the year after 45, like I just said.
Makes sense.
The Flamingo's opening, though, was kind of a failure. Like I said, this was not something that was big at the time. He was trying to, do something that... There weren't, like, a ton of casinos. The Strip, like I said, wasn't like it is today. It was just... It's like me opening a casino at my house. Except I'm not a gangster, and I don't have money.
Well, you're not a gangster. We've already established you have money.
I could be a gangster.
Yeah, you got candles.
You got candles. You got 4 kids, and you go to
Don't
Hawaii.
make me
Yeah, that's pretty.
pull out my big guns. Yo. Anyway, it was so bad that the first week the Flamingo was open, they actually lost $300,000. So I guess that would have been the time to gamble. Unfortunately, I wasn't alive, so I didn't get to participate in that money-making extravaganza for all the customers.
It's not your thing either way, so you wouldn't have been there either.
One time I gambled and I lost a lot of money, so you're right.
If you could pick organized crime, what would you guys get into? Like, if y'all could, like, do whatever you want. Like, so he was in organized crime and came up with a casino. What would you guys do?
Okay, so in all honesty...
Well, I mean, there was only like...
Oh, go ahead, Adam.
No, you go first. I have my own answer. You go first.
Okay, in all honesty, I would probably be the guy that, like, hired a bunch of people or just did this myself and, like, got into something that I don't think is really done yet, but I'm surprised it isn't, is stealing stuff outside of, like, grocery stores. Like how they just leave stuff outside of the actual establishment, just, like, taking it.
That was a huge part of organized crime back in the day. Not grocery stores, but what they'd do is when people were unloading trucks, they'd come take the trucks. And then they would sell the stuff in the trucks, whether it be cigarettes and things like that, booze, before Prohibition, after Prohibition. That was a real popular thing to do. And it netted them a little bit more money. Drugs didn't start being a real problem. The mob didn't really get into drug deals and things like that until the 70s. They wanted to stay out of that. So they did other stuff like they came up with the buy here, pay here car places. They were the first ones that did that. They went to impoverished towns, impoverished neighborhoods, and they give these outrageous rates that people couldn't ever pay their car off, and then they would take the car back, sell it to somebody else. They would do they'd run numbers, which is like running the lottery today, but they would just get numbers. They would do all sorts of bets. So yeah, so I would probably just be a numbers runner.
Yeah, you've just given it too much thought in general, I think, is the point.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we're going to jump ahead now to the next year, 1947, June 20th. Bugsy had just gotten into a fight with his, I don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend, lover, friend with benefits, whatever. I kind of skipped over it because it's not important, but Virginia Hill. And she left town, went to Paris. Yeah. And so he was alone, and he was speaking with an associate, Alan Smiley. If that name doesn't sound fake, I don't know what does. But anyway, there was gunshots. Bullets broke through the window and killed the Siegel instantly.
Oh, yeah.
So not only did he never really live while the Flamingo was hopping.
Profitable.
profitable, he didn't really do much. I mean, most of his crime life was obviously before the Flamingo. But he is the main ghost of the Flamingo. So now we can kind of jump into present day. We'll skip to in 1967, billionaire Kirk. Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not going to lie. Kerkorian.
Wow, that's a rough one. Spell it for our listener.
Kerko.
Let's put it at the bottom. Let's just put his name at the bottom.
Rian. Anyway, he purchased the resort in 1967.
Okay.
Kerkorian. Kerkorian. You
Okay.
just say his name really fast, and it's
I like
just, it sounds like a stutter. Kerkorian.
Let's mumble
Hey,
over
bought
it.
it. Hey, bought that. Anyway, a billionaire. Yeah, bought it in 1967. And it was later sold to the Hilton Corporation, which I wouldn't be surprised if they just, generally speaking, own a lot of Vegas outside of like MGM. The two companies probably own like the majority. But yeah, still to this day, the Flamingo is owned and operated by Harrah's Entertainment, who I believe is like associated with Hilton. I think the two. I don't know if they're the same company yet, but they're both up there.
There's
and
two casinos that
share
own all
things.
of the main strip now.
Yeah.
And one's MGM Mirage Complex. The Mirage actually is getting dropped off that. It's getting bought by Hard Rock at the beginning of the year, so it'll only be called the MGM, not the Mirage. They own a bunch of different casinos on the new strip. And then Caesars Harrah's is the other corporation, and they own the rest of them. So they kind of run them together. And then there's one on the strip that's a Hilton, and then off the strip there's a bunch of Hiltons, but not very many on the strip. It's mostly Caesars Harrah's, and now just MGM.
Thank you for that information.
There,
and
it's little facts for you.
now we're back to talk about Vegas.
Well, we're in Vegas, and just in case people want to know if they're going.
You're always
I don't
there,
know.
so I know that you know. But
I'm working.
Anyway.
I can't help it. I work there sometimes.
anyway,
I'm partying.
the Siegel never left the building. Shot, died, stayed there to this day. His ghost is said
You know
to
what room?
linger on the grounds. Predominantly, he's apparently seen roaming the garden right by a memorial that's actually out there for him. So, I don't know about you, but when I die, I don't know that I would necessarily just like stand over my grave or like where my memorial is. But then you kind of think about like cemeteries, and a lot of people have photographs of people like sitting on tombstones and benches, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's the thing to do when you die, is just look at where you're buried or where you're remembered.
Got nothing but time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. There's nothing else you're doing. Yeah.
So, is he the only ghost, the Flamingo?
He's the main ghost, but apparently he's seen a lot.
Okay. Is there any evidence besides that? Like, people have said they've seen him. Like, that's anecdotal evidence. Have people seen, like, do they have pictures of it or anything like that?
Give me a minute, bro.
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'm kind of into haunting people if I was a ghost. Like, I'm haunting rooms. I'm knocking stuff over. And if I was a gangster ghost, I'm like moving money.
A lot of people die in these hotels. Well, Clay's looking up information because he was ill-prepared. I know that for a fact. We stayed at the Luxor one time, real eerie. A woman jumped. So if you look at, like, if you're in the Luxor, if you look up, you can see all, like, the different levels. And there's, like, where you walk to the hotel room, and it's all open to a pyramid. And if you look down, where the buffet is now, there used to be a different level. And a woman jumped to her death there and just landed all over the ground, splattered all over the ground there. There's been people that have jumped out of windows that now they're all bolted, but people have definitely killed themselves from losing too much money and being depressed. And there's a lot of stuff that happens there that's horrible like that. And a lot of people suggest that a lot of these hotels have hauntings. I've seen some remarkable videos that I can't tell if they're real or not. Probably not, because you know how I feel. Of things in hotels, lights going on and off, things falling off shelves, all the stuff that Clay and I could do in a regular horror movie. These ghost hunters do in these hotel rooms. Like Clay said, I go to Vegas like 5 or 6 times a year for different things. And I've never seen a ghost, but they probably don't want to see me with my junk out anyway. So I'm doing some pretty horrible stuff to myself in those rooms when I go. So
most likely
it's probably awkward for them if they're there. They just I'm just gonna go out in the hall. This guy's a freak. I'm leaving.
It's your only free time, you know. That makes sense.
Yeah, you go to a hotel room, you put on some Skinamax, and you just do
grown-up stuff.
Whatever you're gonna do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll jump in now and say that no, there's no other ghosts there. But I kind of remember now, like, one of the reasons that I wanted to bring it up is because I think that's actually kind of a good thing. You kind of caught me off guard because I was like, oh, do I have more to talk about? I don't know. I do, but that's really it as far as hauntings go. But the reason that that's a good thing to me, I think, is because me and you, Adam, we've stayed at a hotel. We've covered, I don't know, 3 or 4 other hotels just on this show. We've read about other hotels that we decided not to cover because it wasn't good enough or it was just like everything else. But this one has...
Sounds like garbage most of the time.
Yeah, but this one did have one thing that the rest of them didn't. And the thing is that it only has one ghost. So many of them are... This room is haunted because so-and-so. There's a hanging here. These people got thrown out of a window here. The lobby has this because there was a bar and people died and all this stuff. And it's like, whoa, like, why are there 4 or 5 different ghosts? Like, are you just trying to, like, make money? Are you trying to, like, be a tourist attraction? Yeah, like, but this just seems like, oh, well, people actually maybe see a ghost. Because, yeah, he's not really reported being seen in the casino hotel as much as he's just in the grounds around his memorial for being the builder, founder, creator, mobster.
Do you think he's the only ghost there because he's like pushing the other ghost out? He's still on his mob ties.
Maybe he's shooting them.
Like,
maybe he's shooting them in the afterlife. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I find that when we talk about things, we talked about like the King's Tavern once, right?
Yeah.
We talked about the ghosts that are there. The more nefarious people in life seem to linger a lot afterward. Maybe it's because they're stuck. If you believe in this stuff, I don't know if I do. Maybe they're stuck in a purgatory or something like that, and they're like, I can either go to hell or I can just hang out here. Someone's going to hang out here forever.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that Bugsy was a really bad guy. So that kind of makes it more fascinating to me. There's a lot of really cool stuff in Nevada we could talk about.
Well, I think
I've always been really curious about the Flamingo.
Yeah, I think the thing with him too is he seems to have stayed behind because he was killed in such a, like, it was just instant. You know, he got shot. He didn't see it coming, and then, you know, his spirit ends up staying there, and he doesn't get to witness any of the success that came with the Flamingo. Because, I mean, let's be real, all those hotel casinos on the Strip, they make bank. You know, they make a ton of money. He was on the right path to really making some profit and being successful, more successful, and died a year, 2 years, whatever I said, after it opened, and missed out on that. So there's probably some remorse there of just, crap.
Yeah, see,
Might as well watch them make my money. But the other thing I was going to say real quick before I forget, let me just kind of like squeeze in here and say that Virginia Hill was his girlfriend. And fun fact, the Flamingo is actually named after her because of her red hair. Because everyone knows flamingos are totally red, right?
Let me just say that was a fact, but it was not fun at all. It was barely a fact.
I mean...
it's not a fun fact.
I mean, why is it called the Luxor?
Because it's named after the place in Egypt called the city in Egypt called Luxor. So that's why it's named the Luxor.
Yeah, but that's...
Luxor's a place in
Yeah,
Egypt.
but that's not where the pyramids are. But it's a pyramid. The pyramids are in Cairo.
Is there a pyramid in Luxor? There's a pyramid in Luxor, isn't there?
Don't give me the line, but I know there's pyramids everywhere.
Well,
there's some in the water.
the big pyramids are, like the Great
Mexico?
Pyramid, are in Cairo. I do know that.
Oh.
There are there's pyramids in Africa.
That's true.
All over Africa.
That's true.
Well, I'm not saying that
yeah,
there's no
Nubians.
other, you know...
I think there's one in Luxor.
Oh.
You gotta look it up. I don't have my computer here.
It's too much information for me. I just found out Luxor was a place.
I know you were looking at
It's a
your
name.
phone earlier. You better pick up that phone and find out if there's a pyramid in Luxor. I know that.
Right here,
We have to know now.
I'm
We have to
Googling
know.
it. This site says no pyramids in Luxor, Egypt. And it says, I lived in Las Vegas for
Okay.
17 years, and the entire time I was very annoyed by one thing, the Luxor Casino and its big glass pyramid. Why? Because in 1991, I spent time in Luxor. There are no pyramids there. Absolutely none. There's a temple there.
Okay, I stand corrected.
There's a big temple there.
Oh, is that the temple of the?
It just says
kings or something like that,
the
or?
Luxor temple. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I know that the Great Pyramid
I love Egyptology.
is in Cairo, so it's possible.
She had
that
your
there
mom
are-
on.
there
She could
are,
have schooled us on all that.
Well, yeah.
Titus's mom's a genius. I don't know if no one knows that about Titus.
Get
but
him
his
off
mom's
this
a
show and
I try
get
to keep all
her.
the secrets to myself.
genius. She really is smart. I don't like talking to her. It makes me feel stupid. But everybody makes me feel stupid anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But well, that's interesting. You know,
Anyway, I'm just.
I
that's
would like
the reason
to go
it's,
to
it's
another
date night.
hotel.
So I just let's say something about the Flamingo.
I like it.
It's a little quaint. It's a little nice little hotel. It's
I
tough.
like.
I mean, is
the old cars, the old '50s cars they have out front?
Is any other hotel named after an individual on the strip?
No,
Not that I know
no.
of.
Except Caesar's, named after Caesar.
That was easy.
But is any other hotel named after an individual?
That was a given.
That's all I had. That's all I had. Trump Tower. Boom.
He's coming in. He's coming in strong.
got two.
But
Yeah,
is
I got two. That's all I
any
have. I have no
other
more. I have no
hotel named after an individual?
Harrah's.
It's like.
Yeah, but that's the company's
Over here.
name. That's the company's name. That's like if MGM.
But it's named after the man.
Sure. But in this instance, I'm saying the man named it after an individual, not himself.
Yeah, I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well-
I think it's pretty fascinating, actually.
No, it's cool. I gave you a hard time about the pyramids, so we're even. For now,
So anyway,
my revenge will come.
because we are running.
My revenge will
We
be
got 35
sweet.
minutes. We're in 35 minutes. Our viewers cannot
And it will
tolerate
be
us for more than
served
28,
on a
so I'm
dish.
trying to like.
Sorry.
A cold, hard.
I do want to go
dish.
back to Nevada. There's a
Anyway.
lot of haunted places in Nevada that I find that are supposed to be haunted and really fascinating.
Yeah, hurry it up.
There's one place I really want to go. It's the Clown Motel. Has anybody seen the Clown Motel?
No.
I've
It
seen
is right next
a
to a cemetery. A lot of
clown,
people
and
died
I've
there.
seen
and-
a
and plague in
motel
there.
separately.
This one is a motel that's
Like the little old lady
That's
that lived
all
in a
clowned
shoe.
up. They have-
Like you stay in a clown.
it looks like you're staying in a circus with a bunch of different clown dolls and stuff like that, and statues and
Interesting.
Ghost Adventures. Did a special there. They found evidence supposedly, and I think it'd be really cool. It's right next to an old cemetery that hasn't been opened since like the early 1900s. A bunch of miners died right next to it. There was a plague there, so this whole cemetery got filled up within the course of 15 years and shut down. So maybe, but there's a lot of different places like that, and I'm glad you touched on the Flamingo, because all these casinos that we see and go to, they try to keep that stuff hush hush. If someone dies, people go to Vegas all the time. Thousands of people per day fill up a hotel room, right? Or fill up a hotel.
I hope not a
Don't
room.
Put 1,000 people in a hotel room. That'd be weird. And people will die in these hotels, and sometimes they go ahead and they'll put them in those little those laundry carts and put stuff on top of it, and they wheel them out so people don't know and don't freak out. They have their own kind of response team that comes in, and the police meet downstairs unless there's a murder or something like that, and they keep it really quiet. But people do die often in hotel rooms, and in particular in Las Vegas. You got to think of how many ODs there have been, how many people have killed themselves. You know, I think the Flamingo is one of the most historic ones on the Strip, being that they've pretty much demolished everything else.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I really do. And I like the Flamingo. I mean, I've stayed, everybody's going to think I'm disgusting. I've actually stayed at the Excalibur, and their suites are beautiful. If you get one of the big suites, like the presidentials, they're really nice, and they're super clean, and they're all modern. And, you know, I look over the Flamingo, and the building's actually very like, kind of austere and pretty from the outside, and I like the front.
Yeah, I specifically remember like you're in all the lights, like when you drive by, when you come in at night. I can remember seeing the Flamingo.
It reminds you of that time, though.
Yeah, it's like your 1950s Boca Raton.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and the inside's nice. It's small, but it's nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, and it is fascinating, and I love gangster stuff, mobster stuff,
pew, pew, pew,
all from Scarface and everything on
Give me the
down,
money.
and just every story. I liked watching The Untouchables. Like, I am the quintessential the guy that liked all that stuff growing up, and I'm that dude. I like that stuff.
Lame. Just kidding.
So thanks for bringing it to our attention, Clay.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate
I
it.
wish you were a little bit more well prepared for this finale, but I mean, for the most part, you kind of nailed it.
Well, I'm always
you muddled through it.
Unprepared. Let's be honest. The viewers at this point, they know that. Either that or I've fooled a lot of you guys. So give me some props.
I think they're watching, so they like it.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like they like I'm unprepared, and they like that you're over-prepared. Together,
I'm way too
we're
prepared.
good. But, you know, part of the reason that I'm
knowledge is
underprepared is that we've been diving into something really special coming up. And it's actually been a couple of weeks since we recorded our last episode. We didn't really get to do a finale, so we wanted to come back and shoot one more before we start the next season. But we actually spent the last couple of weeks working on another special / feature. We don't know what we're calling it yet. I'm sure by the time this episode airs, there will be a poster, maybe a trailer, definitely some more information and a title. But it's all about the Lost Dutchman's Gold and the Superstition Mountains and dead hikers. And
lots of dead
and
hikers.
bones of the dead hikers.
Which is a good reason why not to hike.
Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to our viewers for the echo in my house, by the way. It's atrocious. I can hear it. I know you can hear it. Clay's going to have to do a lot of filtering to eliminate that echo because he's editing this episode.
There's echo over there? I can't hear it. Thanks for ruining things again for me. That's the second time this episode that you've ruined things.
Well, the ceilings are like 20 feet high, man. I'm going to have an echo. I think it's a 20-foot high ceiling. 25? It's.
Are you trying to brag
it's
because your
ceiling.
ceiling is
It's
taller
stupid.
than mine?
Well, no, it's because I don't have a 3-story house. I have a 1-story home.
My house is 2 stories.
And you have a 3-story home with an elevator and golf clubs at the bottom. He goes golfing like all the time, goes to Hawaii, and he never takes me anywhere.
Ouch.
What's that? Oh, Elise, my wife, says we're going to Hawaii right now, so I'm going to have to end this episode. You guys got the rest covered, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Plane leaves in 10
All right,
minutes.
guys,
We're
well,
not going to make
that-
it.
We're done. Well, I think we should probably try to wrap it up a little bit here. We're getting close to the end of the episode. You know, thanks guys for watching. It's been a great season. Thanks for all the loyal viewers and listeners, and thanks for Titus for being here on our final episode of this season. And until next time,
Creep it real.
All right.
That was good.
I think that was good. You were ill prepared, but I think it worked out pretty well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought
I think it was
I mean,
fun.
He's done better.
I've done a lot better, but
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
let's
nice.
be real. I said it's been a couple of weeks since we recorded the last episode.